Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about packing the shoulder and kind of what that means. There's so many pieces that help to create a more stable shoulder if I can learn how to pack the shoulder. And we do so many things that have more of a dynamic movement pattern from shoulder overhead or a lot of times on the rig. And especially things like toes to bar, especially when we start adding a kip. Again, that dynamic movement pattern to anything that you do on the rig. So what that will look like, right, that I see a fair share, and I'll use the rig as the example, is we can live here. I see this a fair share. We live here and we're dumped at the bottom, meaning I have no engagement at all with my upper body. And I just end up living down in this sort of position here instead of trying to think of packing the shoulder. So if I want to sort of rotate my scapula to get them in and almost like I'm pulling down, but not pulling with my arms, I want to rotate from an upper back mid-trap perspective, pull myself into a position. So what that would look like up here is that instead of being in that dead dump, I want to be active here so that I'm not pulling with my biceps, but instead I'm active with my upper back and really, like I said, packing that shoulder back into its girdle and holding myself there. It creates so much more stability, especially when I start moving dynamically. So if I come up here, instead of looking like this on and just trying to roll myself up for a toes to bar, I can be active and then keep myself in that spot, and it actively will pull me into a spot. So how do we do that? How do we start working on this more active position rather than a more passive position? So one way to do that is with something we call scap pulls here. So to come up on the bar, you go to a dead hang and then pull your shoulder back and down and then relax. And pull your shoulder back and down and then relax. Not pulling with my arms to get up because I don't want to live in this shrug position, but all the way down, pull and relax. If being up on the rig is too challenging of a movement pattern for you, another option is to do like the first rolling to elbow on a Turkish Get Up. So that will look like here, because I will see this here too, is again, if I'm trying to think if I want to pack my shoulder, and I'm on the ground for a Turkish Get Up, I don't want sort of this separation. I'm not just trying to push this kettlebell up. And I'll see this a fair share with Turkish Get Ups. People just like have this shrug and rotate. I want to, if you can even think of like, get my shoulder to touch the ground, not letting my elbow go, but pull my shoulder back and down and then keep it there as I come up. So I'm here, not here. Active back with the shoulder and then control your descent. Set my shoulder up. Control the descent, make sure that that shoulder is set back each time that I do that. So either that roll to elbow from a Turkish Get Up standpoint or the scap pulls on the bullet bar, either of those are two drills just to try to create this awareness with my body of being here and not living with sort of that dump shoulder, instead living with more of a packed shoulder. Give either one of those two a try or both of them a try and see if that doesn't help create a little bit more stability, especially when you're up on the rig and trying to create more dynamic movements.